Quinto capítulo de Mirá a quién encontré. ¿Quién hubiera dicho que a esta altura, 5 semanas atrás, podíamos estar hablando de mid-season, por ejemplo, o conceptos similares? Pero bueno, hasta acá llegamos con Mirá a quién encontré. Nos vamos a meter de lleno con una trilogía. 3 películas de comedia que seguro viste alguna vez y que seguro conocés gracias al título de la segunda de ellas, Los Fockers, que en realidad es Meet the Fockers, que esto se traslada a la primera película, Meet the Parents, que nosotros conocimos en el idioma latino como La familia de mi novia. Mirá a quién encontré.
We started talking about working together, and the first thing we worked on actually was Zoolander before Meet the Parents.
The minimum of a majority would be 51%. Majority of Meet the Parents is mine. I would say like 70+% mine. Most of the big physical things that people quote and people remember came from my first draft.
How did you get involved in the movie?
It was given to me by executives at Universal, and it was a small budget movie that I think they made just to kind of put through the festivals, you know?
Yeah.
A guy named Greg Gliena made it and starred in it. I kept the title. I kept the name Greg. I think I might have even kept the name Pam. I was like, okay, this is exactly what you would think it would be at this level of somebody who's just maybe not written much and maybe his first effort at directing something.
I came on to work on it, right when pre-production was starting, and I tried to bring this element of this private war between De Niro and Stiller, like all the I'm watching you stuff. That kind of came out of the work, we did once I jumped on board the movie, in total collaboration with Jay Roach, the director, and Ben and De Niro. And the circle of trust, I was something I brought to the table, that idea of De Niro saying we have this circle and a circle of trust was just something, that came to me one day.
Did I not clearly explain the circle of trust to you, Greg?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Then is there something you want to tell me?
The first draft that I wrote, Jay Roach read it and said, I want to do this. He had just done Austin Powers, and he said, I want this to be my next movie. Jay Roach wants it. The studio's like, okay, hold your horses, everybody. We're not sure the script is really ready to attach a director to. Somebody slips the script to Bob Cooper, who was running DreamWorks at the time. Bob Cooper reads it, goes, holy shit, this is a hit comedy right here in my hand. He gives it to Spielberg, and Spielberg says, sign this guy to a huge overall deal. Let's get this movie. Let's get this guy. And so I go meet with Spielberg. He goes, all right, well, can you keep a secret? Thinking about directing this. Let's get Jim Carrey.
What did Jim Carrey and Steven Spielberg add to the original plot of the movie?
I did a draft that reflected Jim Carrey's sensibilities more and more physical humor. And then with Spielberg, it got a lot more attention, and somehow it got to Bob De Niro. But Spielberg bailed out. He just had a baby with Kate Capshaw. Rumor was that she was like, you got to take a summer off. You got to take a break. Then when Spielberg left, Jim Carrey was like, well, then I guess I'm out too. Pretty quickly, 2 things happened. Jay Roach is kind of sort of back in, and De Niro gets a hold of it. And the second the word got out that De Niro was on board, we got Stiller. These guys, De Niro and Stiller, like their guys. They like to have the control. So Ben Stiller had a friend, John Hamburg, who he wanted to bring on to do a rewrite.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
My God. Did you know?
Jim wrote great drafts of the script, and I think that one of the big differences is with the different cast with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. The tone was just a little different. Maybe the tone became a little more real, a little more naturalistic, and so that was something that I could help bring to it. Along with a bunch of other things.
Jay Roach was not on board with that, and he said to me, hey, this is we're only here because of you and your writing. What do you think? And I said, I think it sucks, but I get it. And he says, and Jay said, I'll leave. I'll quit. If you say quit, Jay, I'll quit out of respect for you. And I said, no, man, no. I mean, that's super nice of you, but yeah, no, this is, let's see what happens. Nothing major changed. It leaned a little more into some of the Jewish stuff, just a little.
Who was the one that came with the idea for the last name?
Well, now, one of those meetings at Spielberg's house, Spielberg said, hey, I see you didn't give Greg a last name in the script. Why was that? And I said, I don't know, I just didn't really see a reason for it. But I'm sure whatever his last name is, it should just be really embarrassing. And then Jim Carrey laughed and said, ha, like Focker. And we went, yeah, exactly.
Is it true that the studio forced you to look up the name and see if it was like a real name?
Yeah, they fought it for a long time. They were worried that they couldn't put out, a poster or have it on movie marquees out front saying Fockers.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Now it seems quaint and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, there's really people named Focker. So finally, somebody had to, the internet was around, but it wasn't so easy as it is now. But they had to convince legal and marketing, I guess. Somebody actually pulled up, like, look, there's 8 families called Fockers in the U.S. and Canada. Plus, there's a plane, the Fokker with 2 Ks, F-O-K-K-E-R. That's a airplane manufacturer. In World War I, the Red Baron for Germany, he flew a Fokker triplane.
Ow! Oh! Shit! Fokker! It's absorbing you like a sponge. I don't want the first word out of his mouth to be a profanity. Okay, it's okay.
When it was a hit and they said they're going to do a sequel, Jay, because he knew I got kind of fucked over by getting replaced, said, well, we want Jim to do it. So they put me on first.
I was actually making Along Came Polly when the studio wanted to make Meet the Fockers, and there were, I know Jim did a draft of Meet the Fockers and another writer, because I was busy doing Along Came Polly. Then I jumped onto it as soon as I finished Along Came Polly. And definitely, having those Jewish parents, it was more familiar territory for me with my own background. But yeah, I'm always going to be honest, like I didn't create it from whole cloth, there were other people before me, and I did a ton of work on that movie, and took it over and wrote a ton of stuff.
I met with everybody, and at first, the consensus was, let's really just make it a buddy comedy with Greg and Jack, De Niro and Stiller. Again, I think the bigger kind of comic set pieces and stuff were from my first draft. After I did a draft or two of that, they brought Hamburg back on, as I suspected they would, because that's the comfortable relationship that Stiller has.
My first movie is like a cult kind of movie called Safe Men. He saw it at a film festival randomly. Ben Stiller saw it and just really connected with it. And that weekend, I was up there for the film festival, and he and I met, and we clicked, and I had known his work.
Taught him how to do that.
Those movies, the first, the second one made so much money that it's like. Often those are targets for parody. The ones that like either have done really well or make a lot of money. So those movies connected with people.
We really benefited from a great cast. There was not a lot of doubt that it was going to do well.
If someone's parodying you, it means you did something right. So I'm good. Whatever, it's all good with me. Certainly, you don't want to be ripped off.
Llegamos hasta acá entonces con las entrevistas a Jim Herzfeld y a John Hamburg. Conocimos un poquito de la trilogía de Los Fockers. Si te gustó, te quiero leer en los comentarios, compartir, difundir, mostrarle a todo el mundo. Por lo pronto, nosotros nos vemos la semana que viene. Chao.
I made sure that everything everything that happens in that movie to poor Greg Focker could have happened. A friend of mine taught his cat to use the toilet. 5 years earlier, before I wrote the script, I came over to his house. He was, kind of a very meticulous guy, and he had a very expensive cat, an Abyssinian cat, that is supposedly very smart. And he's like, let me show you something. And I go, what? And I walk into the bathroom, and there's a weird little round litter box sitting below the bowl. I go, what the hell's that? He goes, that's where the cat's litter box is. The cat knows it. It's going to keep going there, and then eventually I'll take the litter box away, and it'll be using the toilet like everybody else. I go, that's nuts. I'm going to use that someday.